In July 1947, there was a widespread craze of UFOs in America. All across the country, people reported seeing flying saucers, UFOs. The craze began a month ago on the 24th of June, when private pilot Kenneth Arnold claimed that he saw 9 shining UFOs near a hill around Seattle. He claimed that they were flying very fast with speeds of 2,000 kilometers per hour. Within 2 weeks of this, people reported seeing flying UFOs from all across America. This was heavily discussed in the media. This map shows the sites of UFO sightings in America. Media started linking it to atomic sites. They focused on the 3 areas with the most UFO sightings. These were the sites of nuclear tests. Meanwhile, a man from New Mexico, Mac Brazel, recalled finding weird waste on his field 3 weeks ago. A tin foil, rubber, and a thin wooden beam. He couldn't figure out what they were. He wondered if they were related to the UFO craze. So he took the debris to Roswell's sheriff on July 7th. This drew the attention of an Army officer, Colonel William Blanchard. He was the commanding officer of the Roswell Army Airfield, RAAF. The next day, the RAAF released a statement saying that the rumors of the flying discs had come true. The 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force Roswell Army Airfield was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc. The US Army claimed to have received proof of UFOs, but the next day the US Army officials retracted their stance. They said that the debris they were presented with was from a weather balloon. As proof, photos of Major Marcel were released, where he can be seen with the pieces of the weather balloon. After this, the news died down. The media assumed there was never a UFO, but merely a weather balloon. And the public loses interest as well. But years later, in the late 1970s, once again rumors were spreading of an alien craft being spotted flying over the New Mexico desert. The rumors held that lightning struck this UFO, leading it to crash, killing the aliens inside it. In 1980, Major Marcel wrote the book The Roswell Incident, claiming that the debris he had seen was from nothing made on this Earth. It didn't seem to be from this world. Since then, the importance of the Roswell incident kept increasing. New theories have come up. People claim that in the UFO crash, a living alien was discovered, and that the US Army has kept the alien at a secret base, and some people believe that till now, the alien is imprisoned at a top-secret base, and that the US Army is trying to reverse engineer alien technology and research on alien life. But this is happening at a top-secret location, Area 51. Come, let's understand this mystery in this video.
Since the late 1940s, Americans have been fascinated by a mysterious region in Nevada known as Area 51.
What exactly goes on at Area 51?
The Area 51.
Area 51.
Area 51.
The Air Force has recently made public an archive of UFO reports and investigations.
Are there any alien remains in Area 51?
Area 51 are actually a US military facility found in the middle of a desert, miles away from the closest cities. Going there, trespassing and going inside the facility is absolutely not allowed for people. Outside, you'd spot such signboards. Photography of this area is prohibited. In case of any suspicious activity here, it would be met with deadly force. There are repeated warnings on the signboards. So what's in there? There was an interesting incident a few years ago involving Area 51. In June 2019, Joe Rogan invited Bob Lazar on his podcast. Joe Rogan is a very famous podcaster, and Bob Lazar is a cult figure who believes in things like UFOs. He claimed to have deeply studied flying saucers and the Area 51. He claims that he was a researcher in Area 51. There he researched alien technology, and he was tasked with reverse engineering alien technology and improving our modern technology using that.
This project was to back engineer the alien craft. I went into the hangar door, and in the hangar door was the disc, the flying saucer that I worked on.
The reason why this area is so isolated is that Area 51 is on the largest government-controlled land in America, the Nevada Test and Training Ranger, and this area is spread over more than 12,000 square kilometers. Beside this facility is another restricted military facility, the Nevada Test Site, where America had carried out testing of nuclear weapons from the 1950s to the 1990s. Obviously, if nuclear weapons are being tested at some place, where nuclear weapons go off, It is crucial to make this a restricted site. Actually, before we talk more about this event, it is essential to understand the history of Area 51. And in history, there was the Cold War. I've talked about the Cold War in so many videos, but so many events in recent history all over the world are related to the Cold War. There's no end to it. Area 51 was actually created during the Cold War, when there was rivalry between America and the Soviet Union. Paranoia was growing about communist infiltration of unions in the entertainment industry and in the military and government itself. This was created as a testing and development facility for aircraft. This is why in the 1950s, the most important spying aircraft in America's history were tested in Area 51. Since such critical military weapons were being tested here, obviously, this area was kept in secrecy. From the outset, the outside world knew very little about this area. Wherever there's inadequate information, conspiracy theories spread rapidly. In 1954, American President Dwight D. Eisenhower demanded a secret location where they could start a high-altitude reconnaissance program. The story of top-secret reconnaissance aircraft really begins midway in the 20th century, in the darkest days of the Cold War. Two officers from the CIA were tasked with finding a location where to develop spy planes that could be useful against the Soviet Union's nuclear weapons. In her book Area 51, An Uncensored History of America's Top-Secret Military Base, Annie Jacobson claims that how she found a secret base in the middle of a dried-up lake bed in Nevada. It was a vast, dry lake bed. Today it is known by another name, Area 51. This was already a classified area where the government was testing nuclear weapons. In Area 51, spy aircraft were being made. Two spy aircraft stood out extraordinarily. The U-2 spy airplane, which looked like this. When the Soviet Union tested their first atomic bomb in 1949, it was almost impossible for America to find out because they did not have satellites. Launched a covert CIA program, Project Aquatone. An aeroplane was to be built on a $22 million budget that could fly 4,800 kilometers without refueling, carrying 320 kilograms of cameras with it, and flying at an altitude of 21,000 kilometers, an aircraft that would go undetected on radar and by anti-aircraft missiles. One of the most important spy planes in America's history. Over the next few years, America was largely successful on spying over the Soviet Union using this plane. But on the 1st of May 1960, a U-2 aircraft was taken down by a missile, was shot out of the sky in his U-2, his aircraft destroyed. Years of hard-won secrecy for the US intelligence community were wiped out in a month. America was forced to admit that they were spying. They were spying. To develop a plane that could not be shot down, that could fly faster and be more secretive. This was the birth of the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. That is still the fastest flying aircraft. Its max speed is 3,400 kilometers per hour and can fly at an altitude of 24,000 m. It was very important to keep this crucial plane a secret, especially during the ongoing Cold War between America and the Soviet Union. So how could they have tested the plane while keeping it a secret from the world? The CIA used UFOs. The conspiracy theory of UFOs flying around. These are unidentified aerial phenomena. CIA gave wind to these conspiracy theories. Neither do they deny the claims, nor do they reveal the truth. The weird-looking, fast-flying, unidentified objects. Were they alien flying saucers? This proved to be a good way for the CIA to keep this program a secret. They let people believe that they were alien flying saucers. No one would thus find out that they were US's top-secret military aircraft. No one would thus find out that they were US's top-secret military aircraft. Was allowed to run on the media and in newspapers for a day. If the government admitted the existence of aliens and that they were running experiments on aliens that would create an outcry in the country, that could lead to widespread fear and paranoia among people. That's why, a day later, they released a statement saying that it was a weather balloon. Now, get back to the Roswell incident. Let's look at its explanation. When the military claimed the debris to be from a weather balloon, friends, in 1994 we found out when the US Air Force revealed that it was a nuclear surveillance balloon. a spy device developed under Project Mogul. They could detect sound waves from a large distance by using the balloons. Another reason for the spread of these conspiracy theories is the repeated misstatements from the government. And then when they came out with another statement in 1994, people were skeptical about believing it. People's trust in the government statements had eroded. That's why, even after the explanation, the conspiracy theories kept going around. But the truth remains, if you notice the sighting of the airplanes, the normal passenger aircraft, they fly at an altitude of 10,000 m to 20,000 m. But these military aircraft such as U-1 and SR-71, they flew at 12,000 m and even 18,000 m. In fact, SR-71's maximum altitude was 26,000 m. They were normally tested a little before sunset. So think about it, friends. When these unconventional-looking aircraft were flying at such a height, while the sun was about to set and the sun's rays would shine on it, it would look like the aircraft is flying. With these flying at such speed, people will think that they are UFOs. In most UFO sightings, this is what happens. Military drones, military decoy flares, or any unknown air infrastructure developed by the military are mistaken by people to be UFOs. The term UFO stands for unidentified flying objects. No one said that they were aliens. Unidentified can mean any unidentified object. Since these spy planes were tested in and around Area 51, it's obvious why Area 51 came to be associated with aliens. The US Air Force Project Blue Book investigated several UFO sightings. Wherever people claimed to have spotted UFOs, they noted the times and cross-checked them with their flight records. They saw that the flight records matched. In the late 1950s and 1960s, majority of the UFOs reports were eliminated like this. Conspiracy theorist Bob Lazar, who claims to have been hired by the government to investigate alien technology, it was revealed that he had fabricated even his educational background. He had a degree from a fake name. He says that he was doing confidential government research due to which he couldn't officially enroll, and so there is no record of it. It's the same as me saying that I was working undercover for the government, carrying out research in XYZ college from a fake name, and that's why you will not find my record, because there are no official records, get it? Bob Lazar claimed that the alien spacecraft was powered with element 115, with which the alien spacecraft could create its own field of gravity.
Element 115 is a super heavy element, but it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around.
But it's a unique element. When it was exposed to radiation several years later, in 2003, Russian scientists actually produced this element and named it moscovium, and it doesn't create any field of gravity. In June 2013, the CIA publicly acknowledged the Area 51 base, and the secret details of its history were declassified under the Freedom of Information Act. Under it, this request was filed in 2005, and in 2013, the information was released by the CIA. Newly released CIA documents officially acknowledge the site for the first time. But if you're looking to gain insight into the aliens or spaceships, you might be disappointed. In this information release, we found out the exact location of Area 51. You can see the location revealed by the CIA on this map. This is in the middle of the Mojave Desert in the state of Nevada. In January 2017, 13 million pages of declassified documents were released by the CIA online. In these documents you will find several records of the UFO sightings and the experiments carried out by the CIA. In January 2021, once again, thousands of documents on UFOs were declassified by the CIA.
Through the 1950s, UFO sightings become the convenient cover-up for U-2 flights. But on May 1st, 1960, America's top-secret spying mission is blown when the USSR downs a high-flying U-2.
This time, the agency claims that all of the records they had on the UFOs are now available to the public. Some reports were quite interesting. A mysterious explosion was seen above a Russian city. a first-hand account of some unidentified flying object spotted above Azerbaijan's capital, Baku. Today, the US government doesn't refer to these as UFOs because of the heavy association of the term with aliens. Instead, the US government now uses the term UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. In December 2020, when the US government released the COVID stimulus at the same time, the US government directed the National Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense to release all the records they had on the UAPs to the public. No other argument remains with the conspiracy theorists now, because the US government wants to release the data they have on UFOs and UAPs. In April 2020, 3 videos were released by the US Pentagon. The US Department actually acknowledged that the videos which were leaked in 2007 and 2017 were real videos. In August 2020, the Defense Department created a UAP task force to detect, analyze and catalogue the UAPs that are spotted, because they can pose a threat to the national security of the US. As you have understood by now, we do not know about all the UFOs that were spotted. There have been several such incidents in the last 5 to 10 years where the US pilots observed the UFOs. The only difference is that they do not claim that the UFOs are built by aliens, that they are of extraterrestrial origins. It is believed that the UFOs are part of some highly classified program on which the government agency of some country is working. Even now, Area 51 is an area where next-generational aircrafts are tested. Today, Area 51 has become a global sensation, not only for Americans, but for people all over the world. So, what have we unearthed today? Area 51, born out of a need for high-altitude espionage during the Cold War, has evolved into a symbol of secrecy and speculation. Its existence, once denied, now acknowledged by the highest echelons of power. The whispers of alien technology, fueled by the claims of an alleged insider. Environmental controversies that painted a less glamorous picture of the clandestine facility. And finally, the undeniable allure of the unknown that surrounds this enigmatic location. Yet despite all that we know, Area 51 remains a place shrouded in mystery. For every question answered, a dozen more arise. Is it merely a testing site for advanced aircraft? Or does it hold secrets far beyond our comprehension? The truth, as they say, is out there. But will we ever unravel the enigma that is Area 51? That, dear listeners, is a question only time can answer. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you can watch more such mystery-related videos by subscribing to this channel.